Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you guys are having a great week still so far. I'm having a great week, so yeah, everything's good. So today is going to be my list of 7. As I said in my last video, I'm going to make videos, I'm gonna make my list videos dedicated to Harry Potter, since in about a month, the Harry Potter universe is going to come to an end with the release of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, these books are, so my list today is going to be my 7 favorite Harry Potter books, and the next list of 7 I'm going to do is Harry Potter movies, up to Deathly Hallows Part 1, because I haven't seen Deathly Hallows Part 2 yet, so. Now, let me just make this straight. Just because there are books that are my least favorite Harry Potter books doesn't mean I don't love them. I love all the Harry Potter books. It's just that, bringing the Animal Farm principle, we're all equal, just some are more equal than others. So, let's get started. My least favorite of the Harry Potter books is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I mean, yes, I know it's the first book, but that doesn't grab my attention any less, but, like, it really, as a child I enjoyed it, but as an adult I find difficulty in enjoying the book the same way. Not that I don't enjoy reading the book, I can still read the book and enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it in the same level, the same measure that I did the first time I read it when I was 10, Because, at that point, like I said, I was 10 years old and I could relate to Harry, I could connect to Harry in so many ways at that point, The fact is that we're, and it was just, it's, not that it isn't a bad, book, it's a good book, a fantastic book, but, it was not particularly my favorite now. I mean, I still love reading the book, don't get me wrong, but it's not particularly my favorite, just because I kind of lost that connection because I'm so much older at this point, so, yeah. So, number 6 of the books, continuing on, is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the second book of the series by J.K. Rowling. And the book is considerably, I enjoy it a little bit more, it has a considerably much more darker tone to it. You don't really realize until the fact is that you have a giant snake attacking 12-year-olds and 11-year-old students, like teenagers. And it's the first time we, and the Hogwarts starting to close down. This is a considerably darker book, In my opinion, it's probably darker than the third book, in a way, The snake is attacking Muggle-born students, and, it's a much darker book, and, but my only problem with the book, and the reason why it's number 6 on my list, is the fact that it's a very middle-of-the-road feel. Like, it's like, it feels like it's going to lead on into something more. Lead on to something greater. Something similar to what The Empire Strikes Back had, with Star Wars. That very middle-of-the-road feel. Same thing that Episode 2 of Star Wars had. The very middle-of-the-road feel. And the problem that a lot of sequels, like second sequels, deal with, Which is kind of, which kind of sucks, because it kind of, that doesn't take away from it, but it kind of doesn't leave it a very satisfying conclusion. So, yeah. Number 5 has a similar problem with mine. That's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Well, I did enjoy reading the book, and considerably darker, I mean, one of the reasons I really enjoyed the book is that how it goes into so many details about Voldemort's past. We kind of see, in Chamber of Secrets, we got glimpses into Voldemort's past, And here we get the whole picture, the whole story of, like who Voldemort's mother was, what his family was, what his, family was like, what his, how he was like as a child, it kind of, how he was and how, so it was very interesting to see that perspective, but again, it feels like it has that very middle of the road feel, after kind of like the explosiveness that was Order of the Phoenix, and, this book kind of took a little bit slower pace than the Order of the Phoenix, it wasn't as intense as Order of the Phoenix, and it kind of was like the calm before the storm before it exploded into Deathly Hallows, and again, it has that very middle-of-the-road feel. Brings me to book number 4 of my favorite Harry Potter books, of my, how much I love them, as horrible as that sounds, is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Now this book is, this book, of course, is the end of the series, and for me, it's one of, like, I can constantly go back and read this book. Now, I have friends who are very mixed on the book. Some people, like the book. Some people really don't like. I have a few friends that really aren't too fond of the book because of the fact that the first half of the book is all these camping sequences where really nothing is going on, and they're lost and they're stranded and they're isolated and stuff like that, and they don't know where to go, nowhere is safe. Well, the fact is, I kind of really enjoyed that because it kind of described what was going on perfectly. They're on the run. They don't know where they're going, you know? If they knew they were going, like, it kind of adds more interest to the books. Like, what are they going to do next, you know? Like, they're essentially, they're lost, you know? And, and the epic conclusion with the Battle of Hogwarts, how's that not memorable, you know? I can still read that book and still find the Battle of Hogwarts so interesting, you know? And a lot of people problem that they have is the conclusion, the epilogue. A lot of people I've talked to about the book tend to really have a huge problem with that. I mean, I don't necessarily. I personally, I'm a fan of the epilogue because it kind of like, okay, this guy, Harry just went through 7 years of hell, you know? People around him, people close to him, people around him died, you know, in this brutal battles, you know? It's nice that he finally has some peace, you know, in that fact, so. Yeah, but Deathly Hallows I really enjoyed, like, you know, so. Yeah, so my third favorite Harry Potter book is also my it's also the third book of the series, ironically, is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, I really enjoyed this book. This is the first book I can clearly, like... The reason why this book sticks out to me the most, this is the first Harry Potter book I read where I really, like... You know, I read it, yeah, I read it as a little kid too, but, like, I really read it at you know... Like, when I first read the first two books, I really couldn't recall anything that happened, but the third book, I could really recall something happening, you know? Like, this is the part where I really, really read the book closely as a kid, you know? You know, the first two books, I kind of just blew through them because I wanted to seriously, you know, get through reading so I can find out what happens at the end, you know? Like, they were just so good, you know? But the third book, kind of, it really made me sit down and kind of read the book, you know? And enjoy the book for what it is and to savor it, you know? And it's so good, you know? So good, you know, definitely one of, you know, I mean, the book takes on continues kind of like the more darker motif, you know, and it's, you know, it's also the only other book besides the Half-Blood Prince that doesn't have Lord Voldemort in any way, shape, or form, so, which is kind of interesting also, because the villain is not Voldemort, you know, so, yeah, so my second favorite book is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and, I like when I pre-ordered this book. This is the first when I first read Harry Potter, the Harry Potter series. It was already 4 books in, so I caught up with the first 4 books, and then I pre-ordered Order of the Phoenix. Well, my parents did for me, and I was, you know, I was so excited to finally get that book. I went through it in a week. You know, I blew through that book, and it was you know, for me it was amazing. You know, the book is so good. You know. Granted, the book gave me, like, it's one of the only books I've read that has given me strong emotions about something. In this case, it was with Dolores Umbridge and her tyrannical rule over Hogwarts. I hated Dolores Umbridge so much. I still hate Dolores Umbridge. I can't read that book, or I can't watch any movies with Dolores Umbridge in it without cringing a little bit on the inside. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, I hate that woman so much. Because, I think, if you guys ever watch All Made of Awesome, like, I really recommend you guys watching that channel. Lizzie pointed out best when she was talking about Harry Potter, and she said that the fact is Dolores Umbridge is a real-world villain, you know? She is someone you can perfectly imagine in the real world, which is slightly terrifying, slightly more terrifying than Voldemort in a way, you know? She's a real-world evil, something that you can picture in real life, which is absolutely terrifying, you know? And, yeah, so, so to get back to it, my number 1 favorite Harry Potter book of all time is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This book was fantastic for me. I can still read it today and get the same enjoyment out of it, you know? It's fantastic, you know? Like, especially with the awakening of Lord Voldemort. That was such a shocker, you know? And the death of Cedric Diggory, like, and the awakening of, and the resurrection, essentially, of Lord Voldemort was just... It's just so, like, that's, you know, the book was just, you know, it was so much considerably, like, in terms of tone, yeah, the books were going towards the tone of darker. This one kind of takes the darker and just, you know, puts it there, you know? Like, it's just, it's, you know, we also kind of see what's so interesting about this book, the fourth book, is that we kind of see Harry as a teenager. You know, we deal with romances and school and crushes and possible girlfriends, and it's the first book that we kind of really see Harry and Ron and Hermione as teenagers, as having feelings and emotions, and like the whole aspect of bringing the whole aspect of romance into it, and crushes and girls, and all that stuff. And we clearly evidently see Ron having feelings for Hermione. It's very we kind of see the book kind of connecting more with a teenage audience. It's kind of definitely separating itself more away from kids' books, which the first three clearly are kind of directed towards. The fourth book kind of sets the tone that like the audience has grown up, with the characters. Let us continue that trend, And that's it. That's my list of the Harry Potter books in my order of favorite to least favorite. So, yeah, hopefully I'll try to do a personal blog / talk about a new story tomorrow. And next week, my list of 7 will be my 7 favorite. Well, probably wouldn't do 7 favorite Harry Potter movies because I want to wait till the 8th one comes out, then make a judgment call on that. And then so probably it'll be like favorite Harry Potter characters or something, or favorite Harry Potter sequences. I'll have to figure that out later. All right, guys. Well, I will talk to you tomorrow. I will do a new story then. I'll probably talk about have my 2 cents on the Wiener scandal. So. Alright guys, I will talk to you later then. Alright, peace.